Buzz Live. Hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
Hey, Buzz, buzz, babies! Happy Wednesday, Mother Buzzers! Well, we're not monetized. I can say whatever I want, but you're not supposed to curse in the first 8 minutes of a live stream. It's uncouth, and YouTube will slap you on the old wrist. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Hope you had some cool comic books today. I was just talking in the green room. Godzilla has destroyed Kansas City. That came out in comic book shops today. We were all pretty stoked about that. Hope y'all went to some cool shops next, some cool books, some cool indie comics. But the comic shops aren't the only place to find cool comics. There's also a really awesome, there's crowdfunding, which, that's what we're here to talk about tonight. But first, we got to do some quick ad reads, because tonight's show is sponsored by none other than Michael Gecko Adams, who has a new series, Hero out from Keen Spot. To keep up with what he's got going on, and trust me, you want to keep up with what he's got going on, head over to geckoadams.com. Tell your shops to put Hero on your pull list. You can still get issue 1. Issue 2 comes out in November, and if your shops can't get it for some odd reason, you can go to the Keen Spot shop and get yourself a copy. You can find that link in the description. And I would like to remind everybody, all the books we talk about tonight, there are links in the description. You just click them, go right to Kickstarter, spend your money on some great books. We got one other thingy here to bring up. Before we get to the show, I want to bring up Ruination, a brutal character-driven fantasy epic full of political intrigue, betrayal, and jaw-dropping art. If you love morally gray heroes, worlds on the brink of collapse, and the kind of storytelling that keeps you flipping pages at 3 a.m., Ruination is the book for you. The new campaign's live on Kickstarter, but only for another 20 hours. It's almost over, so go check that out. It's a really cool book. Issues 1 through 11 live right now. And Unlocking Stretch Goals just did a real cool Comics Are For Everyone sticker, which is really dope. Every physical backer gets one. P.S. These are not just ads. These are campaigns I'm working on. So, support your boy too. Make it look like I'm doing a good job. For real, it's an awesome book. I've loved it ever since I started reviewing comics. Like when I had the old blog that people may not even remember. I reviewed them long time ago. All right. That was fun. Let's bring out some guests. First up, this is oh man, I need to fucking tell one day. Damn, it's not 8 minutes. All right. Well, we're done now. All right. One day I'll have a teleprompter. Okay. First up, he's a ridiculously talented illustrator and might be the best hog slinger this side of indie comics. Let's get him out, Mr. Richard Fairgray. Oh, goodness.
Here I am.
What's up? Live from Paris, I heard. What are you doing?
Just how I live, just Paris, wherever, just living my life, traveling, relaxing, probably. Trevor Fernandez-Lankevich, Ryan Best, and I are in Paris right now for some store signings, and they're heading off to Glasgow next week, and then I go to London, and then I meet up with them again the week after that for Thought Bubble and Harrogate before we all come back to do Fan Expo in San Francisco.
Wow. That sounds really cool, but also exhausting.
Well, they are asleep in the hotel room upstairs, so I am in the basement, the only place that I could find that was relatively quiet where I could still get the Wi-Fi.
Well, I appreciate you, and I'm glad we can make it work, because we'll talk more about the campaign shortly, but you're running a fast and hard Halloween inspired campaign that I'm really stoked. Dick or Treat is what we're going to talk about, but first we got to bring out some more people. But my phone wanted to shut itself, even though I have notes pulled. Oh man, Apple's trying to ruin me. First I don't have a teleprompter, now my Apple products are turning against me. My goodness, Richard, I'm shocked you people put up with me. I'm always surprised. All right, next up is another talented artist. He's here to talk about a real cool anthology. It's called Storage Horrors. Let's bring him out. He's so good at creeping me out on the page, Mr. Kurt Belcher.
Woohoo!
What's up, dude?
Not much. Just finally funded the storage orders today. So
I saw you guys
That's
cross the
fantastic.
finish line.
Mhm.
And Richard, you're part of this too, right? Is that
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
nice? Hell yeah! Small world. We didn't know that. We didn't plan that. My other boss, Lori. Well, because I didn't know. I knew we were helping with the Dick or Treat campaign, but Lori was like, "Hey, like, can we come on soon?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "Oh, well, I guess Richard's running like this 4-day, 6-day. I don't know. Richard's running one of the fastest campaigns I've ever seen, and I'm really interested to talk
Yeah.
about."
Let's just like let's. I know we can't swear in the first 8 minutes, but we also don't tell anyone yet about the other secret thing that I'm doing with Lori.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
You do know about that. This is the preemptive strike of getting people used to the dicks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was all right. Well, cool. Oh, hell yeah, badass. All right. Well, speaking of dicks, joke. That's a joke. The next guest is Jim, and that was a bad segue. That's a joke. That was a joke. Oh God. Oh, I'll never come back from that. All right. Finally, last but not least, if you've been watching the show, this book's going to sound familiar because we've been talking about it at the beginning of every episode. He's here tonight to talk about Crossover Division. Let's get him out here, Mr. Will Allred. Coming on down, back to the live streams. Remember when you used to do this every Friday and you quit because you were a coward?
Yeah, I know. I blame Kevin.
No, it was Kevin's child technically, or teenager.
Yeah.
And yours, but you still do the Green Lantern show, right?
We were, but my co-host he needed to not do 1,000 podcasts a week, so we kind of cut that back too.
Oh damn! You missed it, or do you like the quiet?
I kind of do miss it. I think once Kevin is able again, I think I would like to kind of go back to doing something every week, just hyping up indie comics because it's fun. I love talking with creators, and I do want to say one thing. Dude, I was tired like 5 minutes ago from driving for 3 hours today, but this just brings me joy. I love that intro.
It brings out the energy, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely.
I know people like to get yelled at nicely. Apparently, they don't like to get yelled at meanly. Well, I guess some people do. No, we don't kink shame here. If you like that, that's all good. That's all good.
Thank you.
Well, all of you at one point at a time have been on the show, and now technically, I guess, because I'm in a way I'm working through Richard through Lori right now. So now I've worked with all of you because I worked with Kurt and Brian on the oh my god the all seen and the all seen eye, which was
Unsleeping Eye.
The Unsleeping Eye. Oh man, see, I'm on a roll. I love the book so much I can't remember the name. Kurt terrified me. His this story, which is crazy because like when Brian talked to me about Brian Lowe's is an amazing artist, and Kurt's an amazing artist too. But just in my head, I figured like Brian would be drawing his own book, right? And he was like, no, like Kurt has he has this this weird, mean, nasty style, and it's like perfect for this book. And it was, and it's like, oh, the window scene when the daughter gets scared, and then you find out like that thing does that like every night it's like tapping on the dude,
fingers on the window pane.
That still haunts me. I've been watching a lot of horror movies, man, and because it's 'tis the season, right? And you think back to those moments that get you, right? And that was like one of those like genuine like horror nuggets I'll take with me for like a long time. And it's just like I'm not seeing the goods like that, and I'm seeing good movies, right? But it's just those special little moments like that, and I'm so glad that happened in a comic book. But anyway, we're not even here to talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
that
it's
book
something
tonight.
you can only do in comics, right? Yeah,
that is true. And speaking of things you can only do in comics, I do want to. We're gonna start tonight because I have a lot of questions about Richard's new campaign. That's what we're gonna start.
Hang on, is your question, Richard? How did it take you this long to do something so in character?
Well, not really. I was waiting for it just because the the sketches you do at the conventions and how popular those are getting, and the cash you're pulling in from doing these sketches, just it kind of made sense to put them all together. And so let's just pitch me this while I bring up, just in case no one can get it by the very genius product image, but like what kind of store, what kind of comic book are we dealing with?
It's just pictures of dicks. Like, my whole thing is, I want people to finally have dick pics they can be proud of, and I'm the one to provide them.
with
in
great power comes great responsibility.
Look,
Yeah, these are solicited dick pics, right? So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I got the sign at the booth that says "Dick pics by request," and it just kind of took off. It all started. Look, here's the backstory. Ever since Octopus came out, anytime someone would ask me to sign a copy of Octopus, I would do a little quick dick remark in it, just like real, like standard hard dick, circumcised cock ring ball stretcher, and I kind of place it so that the balls were hidden behind the title. And then back in March, I was at Fan Expo in Cleveland, and it was this after party thing where people were getting posters signed and what have you. And this guy says, "Can you do a remark for me?" I said, "Sure. What do you want?" And he said, "I don't know." And then Aaron Reynolds, the Effing Birds guy, a buddy of mine, he suddenly just leans back and says, "Richard's really good at drawing dicks." And that night, I did 57 dick drawings on Fan Expo posters. And the next day, they ran out of coffee in the green room. And so Aaron and I decided you should draw pictures on our empty coffee cups and trade them for free coffee. And so we just, he drew a bird, I drew a dick, and we had them sitting there, which is, if you bring us each a small black coffee, you get the empty cup from the last one. I got 16 cups of coffee that day, and I was like, this is fucking funny. And I put up the sign, and on the last day of the show, I started drawing these dicks, and I realized that, I have a gift, and I can just make these dick pics that are done with love. There's a lot of attention to detail. I really think about the weight, the heft, the dimensionality, just trying to find different angles, sizes, and shapes. And I finally decided for once to stop getting in my own way and actually do the thing that people tell me to do of "Hey, Richard, you had a marketable idea, fucking make it." So I've been running Dicks by Richard for a little while, kind of become about 40% of my income at this point at shows. And then on October 1st this year, I back just before San Diego Comic-Con, I was just like, what if I just drew a book of superhero dicks to see how it goes? And so it's 6 hours from conception to it being at the printer, 20 superhero dick drawings. And I want to be clear, not the dicks of superheroes, but dicks inspired by superheroes. There's the Wonder Woman dick, which has the cuffs as the ring and the stretcher, and then a golden lasso of piss. And it sold like crazy, and I moved I'm down to 6 copies out of 1,000. Wow. So October 1st, I'm sitting there in the morning and I'm doing my daily dick drawing, and I suddenly just think, Cocktober. And I just posted Cocktober ? To my Blue Sky, and it got a lot of engagement by my standards. And so I just drew this vampire dick. And then I just thought, fuck it, this is the thing. So everyone else is doing their Inktober or whatever the fuck else they're doing, and I am drawing costume dicks. And I've got this other little secret project coming. Let's not say little. I have this incredibly exciting secret project coming up with Laurie next year. And so I reached out and I was like, "You want to do a little preemptive strike? Let's see if we can get some buzz around this. I think we can put out a book by Halloween." And she said, "That's a terrible idea. You're going to be traveling in Europe. The times are all off." And I was like, I don't need sleep. I got Ritalin, baby. And so here we are. It is a 4-day campaign to round out Cocktober, to get a copy of this dick book that will be going to print Saturday morning, I think, and then should be there in time for me to send it out in November before I go to Fan Expo San Francisco.
Wow, Saturday morning wood. I'm really mad that you said a preemptive strike instead of calling this is what it is. This is a little dollop of pre-cum is what you totally missed a missed opportunity.
You say pre-cum, not precum?
Precum?
It must be a
Fuck
regional
off.
thing.
What? Are you serious? No. No, it's not called that. It's not called that.
But there's a whole line of dick products on the way, and I'm very excited about them.
That's cool. I love it, man. And do you ever get because you've been doing so many, right? And you do them as like warm-ups and stuff too. Do you ever find yourself like running out of ideas? Like, what am I going to dress this one up like? Or is it
come on.
That was a bad
like,
question.
I've got a fucking memory palace up here. I got 28 years of dick sucking history to draw from. Like,
not like what the dick looks like, but like what outfit you put the dick in. Like,
they're not all in outfits. I do these. I do little like 60 seconds drawings that I post just when I'm like on a bus or waiting for a movie or whatever.
You're like Jim Lee with dicks.
I'm like Jim Lee. I'm like the Jim Lee of dicks. I can't wait till people start talking about how I used to be better. Jesus Christ, this is dark. No, it's like I do these little quick ones that are just like of regular dicks, and I drew a lot of drawings of just regular dicks. And I have a full range, and at shows I say like you can choose hard, soft, veiny, smooth, hairy, shaved, cut, uncut, cock ring, ball stretcher, piss, jizz. And if you want a theme, you can have a theme, but like I can just draw you a really nice dick. And so like starting November 1st, I mean, I've got a few Movember pieces that I'm going to throw up, and I've got some stuff happening for Guy Fawkes Day. But the Cocktober thing was sort of special. I was like, I just really want to have these dicks in little Halloween costumes.
Hell yeah, why not?
And I made a list on my whiteboard, and I got to 31 on the list, and I was like, cool, that's what I'm sticking with. And then I crossed them off as I did them, and I kept coming up with new ones. And so I think I still have like 27 ideas written down that I can do for next year. Like so many people were like, are you going to do a creature from the Black Lagoon dick? And I was like, obviously I will, but I haven't. So, stay tuned for Dick or Treat 2 coming 2026.
Nice. Yeah, I would run out of ideas. Not many times have someone been like Blake, send me one. But the first time I was asked that, I got really nervous, and I was like the angle, I was like freaking out, and I took a Sharpie because I'm an idiot and drew a happy face on it. And that did not come off for a real long time.
I think it's like, look, at least you didn't draw a sad face.
No, it was happy. But yeah, it's because you can't scrub it very hard. It's like you can only do so much anyway. So this project's intriguing to me for that reason, just for that little weird time of
personal history.
Yeah, little sexual awakening of Blake there that you guys know about now.
I love it when I'm on a live stream and I'm not the one oversharing.
Right? No, yeah, that's right. That's what we do here. It's hard. It's hard when you're on because I'm like, how am I gonna? I came out the one time, and now everybody knows I drew a happy face on my dick once. It's cool. Cool.
Yeah, but like we will refer to it as that time Blake's dick was happy.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
And the smile slowly faded from Blake's dick.
The smile slowly, very slowly faded. And then we started podcasting. No, it's like sweet transition to channel that frustration. No, I didn't start podcasting until I was like late 20s.
No one's dick is smiling by their late 20s.
Yeah, and now I'm 40. Now it's really not smiling anymore. It's just like hanging on for dear life. Anyway, hi everybody, welcome to Blake's Buzz, where we talk about comics. If you're just now tuning in, we have definitely been talking about comics the whole time.
We'll get to the comics eventually. I
would make the argument that dicks count as comics. They are sort of.
No, it's they tell a story.
That's true. That is true.
And the art's great, and it's funny. Yeah, it's definitely a comic. It's or a collection of pinup. You know, like a collection of pinups, if you could call it, I guess. Where Kickstarter duration, and this is something we can open up to the panel, right? Everybody sticks. Everybody runs the 30-day, and I feel like a lot of us are like hesitant to get off of the 30-day, right? There's like
30 days for suckers. Think about it like this: you do a 30-day campaign, you can only do 12 campaigns a year. How do you get out enough books?
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, when you're doing a schedule like that, but even this one is shorter than your because you do a lot of 18-dayers or like 2 or 3 weekers, right?
Yeah.
Where did the 6-day campaign come from? Where was the thought behind that?
Last year, sometimes people will talk about like what's a dumb idea, and I'll be like, what's an even dumber idea than that though? And so last year I decided, what if I launched a campaign from the floor of San Diego Comic-Con on the Friday and let it run till the Monday? Because everyone knows that weekends are dead, and everyone knows that Mondays suck. So, like, can I do it? Just because I thought it'd be really funny to see if I could have like a small campaign running in the background. So while I'm selling books at the con, I can look down at my phone and be like, and I also made this much money. And like it went fine. It did exactly what I expected this to do. I think it was like $1,500 over 4 days for a little horror anthology thing that I was already made. It was just pieces from other books. And I was like, well, so these things work. And my schedule's pretty tight. This was a surprise book. I think if I had my time over, I would have launched it a little earlier, done like the full week for the end of October or something. But I had the Buoyancy campaign only wrapped like last Wednesday. And then I was flying to Europe and dealing with all of that shit. So I kind of couldn't really rush it. I will say, this is like, the like Kickstarter on strike, and they're being very clear, like they're not asking for a boycott. They want people to keep backing Kickstarters because that's what that proves their worth. But I was like, man, this is the campaign where if I'm going to get turned down when I submit it, it's going to be this one, right? And I might have to reach out to some people who are currently not there. So there was like a little bit of a nerve-wracking moment on Thursday when I was like waiting to go to the airport, like refreshing to see if the campaign had been approved. But it all went fine.
What would have been the thing that kept it with like the imagery on the campaign page or the cover?
Yeah,
Is that what you were worried about?
I think the imagery on the campaign, you can have like, like I put these pictures on Blue Sky every day, and obviously there's no problem there. But it always gets flagged by, or like about half the time it gets flagged by the moderator bot, and it always gets flagged as sexual, but does not contain nudity. And I would argue it is the exact opposite of that. And
nudity, but does not contain sexuality.
Yeah. I mean, you can make an argument against the swirl of mustard on the hot dog dick, I guess, but
that was a bit, yeah. I showed that.
By the way, you're welcome. Like that really was planned for you. I knew your birthday was sometime in October.
No, yeah, because you said you left a comment or something, and so you were like, "Man, it'd be good." And I was like, "Oh no!" And then I showed my mom that.
My mother.
I was like, "Look what an artist did for my birthday."
my mother called me last week. And she was like, "Richard, I need to let you know I don't like the dicks you're posting on Facebook." And I was like, "Hey, Mom, I don't care or want to know what kind of dicks you want to see. Like, snooze me if you must, but like we're never having this conversation."
By the way, I got called out when I said, "I swear we talk about comics." Leo said, "Wow, sure." But thanks for tuning in, dude.
Yeah, like running this thing for such a short time, like it has to end by Halloween. Okay. I've got some other stuff coming up that it may not happen, but I wanted to leave the window open in case it could. I probably can't launch a second campaign while I'm traveling because it's actually just too hard to do. Here I am on my phone in the middle of the hotel basement.
Will, you've run crossover, a lot of crossover campaigns now. Like, have you ever thought of like taking like, and I'm thinking of this, like I'm working for you right now, and like our final week, right? Was when it happened. But I mean, technically that final week could have been the third week if we would have, but anyways, have you ever thought of, in your time being on the platform, because it is a trend, like a lot of people are like, you know, if you don't do the 4-week campaign and you don't have the mid-campaign slog, and some say it's less stressful. I think it is a little more stressful, just because everything's even more snappy, you know. It's just like updates come out faster. Anyways, have you ever thought about shaving off a week or a couple days or doing something different?
Yeah, I know, like Charlie Stickney, Kevin Joseph, I think they've done like 18 days or 21-day campaigns. And don't get me wrong, the dead zone is brutal. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, I question, you know, my life choices, and, you know, no one's ever going to back me again. And I'm going to go over here and, you know, curl up in the corner in fetal position and cry. But if you can survive it, I mean, I feel like my opinion on going the full 30 days, 31 or 32 days, I usually try to, you know, end it on a Friday. It started on a Tuesday and ended on a Friday. Having it on the platform for that long, it's more opportunity to get more eyeballs on it. Now, is it worth it? Honestly, I mean, I could probably look at the kick track data and see, you know, how much did we get here? How much did we get there? I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of what I've done. Should I, you know, crank it down a little bit, maybe do a 21-day? Maybe I need to try that in the future. So far, this has sort of worked, except for the, you know, soul crushing experience each time, you know, that, you know, nearly destroys me. But I don't know. I think that there are some really good pluses for it. I mean, and Richard, I mean, you can draw, dude. That's awesome, because I can't draw. I have to schedule artists, and you can do more than 2 campaigns a year, really?
Yeah, I mean, look, I know I'm a maniac, but like at my peak this year, I was doing 2 campaigns a month.
Wow.
And I would just do them as I do an 8-day campaign, a 14-day campaign. And I think like that is stupid, and I am certainly getting in my own way. Like, I do not have time to promote. I do not have time to build my audience outside of the campaign windows, and the audience I have are going to start getting tired of how many books I'm putting out. Like, what am I going to do? Make less books? I can't. What I will say though is, like, cut down to a 21-day campaign for a couple of reasons. One, anything over 30 days gets like gets bumped down by the algorithm because it's considered like bloated. Get down to 21, because that dead zone is hitting faster for everyone every time. You remember the days when it was like, day 1, you get this much. Day 2, you get 50% of what you got on day 1. Day 3, 25%. Day 4, the dead zone hits. Now it's like, day 1, great. Day 2, fucking dead zone immediately until the last like 3 days. Like, it's so much faster. And like, you are going to get all those people. The advantage to having something on the platform longer is also like completely mitigated by the fact that you have late pledges available now. So if you want to have a thing where you're like, crossover division is just available for people to keep backing forever after until we fill, you could do that. And you still get that presence that you can still keep sharing that link.
That's a really good point.
I didn't even consider late pledges in that. Kurt, what did you run Storage Horrors at? Because I know you're at the final. You're at 67 hours right now. What'd you start at?
I started on the 1st, so I was going to run it for 31 days, and then for some reason, it bumped it down to 30 days. I'm not sure exactly why that happened, but maybe I messed up something there. But yeah, I mean, I just ran it. I did not run with late pledges. I'm gonna have to look into that on the next campaign and see what
you can still activate it. You can activate late pledges right up until the campaign ends.
Yeah, if you
really?
wanted,
Yeah.
So basically, here's a let me mansplain. to our viewers if you guys want. But it's super chill. You can go in. You can tell, like, if you want to, like, Kurt, if you wanted to run it for a week, right, you could program it, or you can go in and tell it, you'll say, like, do it, and I'll tell you when to stop. Yeah. You can do it. You can select what tiers you want to do, and what, like, you can do everything or just a few things, or, like, if you've got, like, original art shit, like, you don't want commission stuff, like, you want that to get wrapped up and get the surveys out, right? So, like, when we've done stuff like that, like the drawn in options, we don't run those longer. We get those done ASAP. But anyway, like, as soon as, like, you do your surveys and stuff, basically, like, the surveys are done when you do that, and then anybody who does a late pledge, Kickstarter automatically sends the survey, like, right away. So it's like an instantaneous transaction. What I don't know really is how long, like, if those transactions take like another 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks, like the big Kickstarter, I don't know how the late pledge payments come in. I haven't been privy to that, but yeah, it is like an extended storefront. It's easy. They recommend you overcharge, like, for the late pledges, like, up the price a little bit. So, like, it'll automatically add like 10 or 11%, like, just like Kickstarter automatically does that. But it's pretty cool, man. It's something they borrowed from, like, BackerKit and Indiegogo, because even when everybody was hating on Indiegogo for a long time, like, Pat Shand was someone who said this. Pat was like, I get, like, the crowd on Indiegogo and people don't like it, but what people don't realize is, like, if you do a campaign on Indiegogo, it stays there. And after the campaign, like, it's a storefront and people can return there, and you can say, hey, go to this link and buy my book now. And Kickstarter did not have that. BackerKit came in later, and through the BackerKit services, you can do that through BackerKit. Now you can kind of do that through Kickstarter. But yeah, it's worth playing around with.
Sweet.
And yeah, you can. I mean, you don't have long to think about it. You only have 67 hours, but if you want to think about it for a second, you can still.
Yeah, I wonder if that the late pledges, if it's like a sliding scale, like it pays out like 2 weeks after it comes in.
I think it does. I think it does.
Okay.
I was just wondering if it was that, or if they had, like, certain periods that it pays out after that or something. But
and then they do the pledge over time thing too, which is kind of, I get it.
I don't think anyone making comics needs to do pledge over time. Like, maybe if you're getting tricked by whichever ad is telling you to buy a new laser engraving fantastic robot machine or whatever, then fine. But I don't need one of those.
I kind of thought it would be good for, like, art, I guess, if you were, like, buying, I don't know. But
has anyone else been getting this ad for, like, it's a Facebook ad for a Kickstarter thing that is, like, finally the perfect oven or whatever, and it's this picture of a weird little, like retro futuristic looking tiny oven, and sitting in front of it is a single lamb chop that looks like it could barely fit inside. And I'm like, am I getting this because Facebook thinks I'm that lonely? Like, what? In what world am I like, no, finally, I can cook my one lamb chop?
I never get food ads. It's so weird. I never get, like, food directed ads. I've been getting Kickstarters doing Anchor is doing a travel surround sound and projector, and it's got an inflatable, like, 150-inch screen, and the deal, like, airs it up. The speakers pop out of it. It charges. The projector's built into it. It's like average. I'm, like, watching the video. I'm like, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. It's like $2,300. I'm like, why are you advertising this to me? I can't afford it.
I got for ages. I kept getting the one. You'll see the one, the vibrating butt plug that you could tune to your, like, Spotify, and so it would like play to the rhythm of the music. And I was like, hey, advertisers, way too many of my friends are musicians. Like, can you imagine anything worse than just, like, you got a machine going to town on you, and suddenly, like, your best friend's voice starts singing? No.
I didn't even. Well, yeah, that's a niche problem there.
No, it's not a niche problem, because every single one of us knows at least someone who's on Bandcamp.
Oh, yeah.
And we've all added friends to playlists out of obligation. You put your butt plug on shuffle. That's a nightmare.
You put your butt plug on shuffle. just a string of words that I never really knew could really go together. All right. I don't know how we're going to segue into Will's campaign, but we're going to do it. Will.
It's a crossover.
We're crossing over.
Yeah, we're crossing over to comic talk. Will, you're at you're coming up on the final days of the campaign, and I brought up, damn it, Kurt, I brought up the wrong window. Why'd you let me do that? Will, while I'm fixing this error, pitch us crossover division and why this issue is special because of a special guest appearance.
Okie doke. So reality is fracturing. Our stories are becoming real, and only a English professor and a research librarian can save us from an unhappy ending. So yeah, you can kind of see, we kind of give it away right there on the very first image there. It's everybody's favorite, elder dark priest, right? We are crossing over with Cthulhu and the mythos. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge horror fan, so I kind of approach this one a bit more clinically than I approach, like if I'm doing John Carter of Mars, which I'm a tremendous fan of. That's me just fanboy having a lot of fun. But this one I tried to look at Lovecraft. And Lovecraft, we're past 8 minutes, right? Yeah, he was a piece of shit, dude.
He was a raging racist.
Racist, misogynist, classist.
Yep.
Yeah, he was just a piece of shit. And I think for me that I can see how his phobias, whatever they were that made him the, piece of shit that he was, influenced, the Call of Cthulhu or, the mythos and all of those things, right? And I don't know that I really got into it in this issue. First off, the art is by Pablo Martinena, and man, that guy can draw tentacles. I mean, we did the first double page spread in this issue, and it is Cthulhu and all his gigantic glory, and it's Pablo is just, he's a freaking rock star. And then, of course, the issue is going to be colored by Ryan Kroboth. We've got Brant Fowler on lettering, and James Powell's the editor. And then I love doing these campaigns because I get to talk to artists and do variant covers, right? Alice Leclerc, who's the artist on kind of the even number issues, we alternate. But she did the first variant cover, which is that green hand, that one right there, which is, I think, really amazing.
I love
Rio Burton did our third variant, or our second variant cover, the third cover, and Rio's awesome. I love getting to work with these artists because it's just so much fun. And okay, I've got a hack for any writer out there. If you want to work with an artist, here's how you can work with any artist. Pay them monies. There you go. Pay them monies, and they will work with you. Do you see? Can you put the equations and everything floating around my head? I'll be still for a second, right? But working with Rio is great. Our fourth one is by Paper Cat, and she went more of a pinup route. And I like. Did
you ask for this? Because this is a sexier style. Like you almost could have done a patch for this, right? And done a not safe for work version. It's that you're leaning. But anyways, did you direct them or did this just come and you dug the vibe?
I told her to lean a little more pinup. She does a lot of work with M.K. Palmer on the Meraki book, and I was like, I really like her work. Let's lean into what she does really well, and she does pinups really well. So I said, rock on. Let's do what you think. And yeah, this is what she came up with. So I typically don't try not to direct cover artists. I'm just like, hey, this is what the book is about. Here's Hank and Hector, our agents. If you want to do something with Betsy, who's our rogue agent, fine. this is what we're crossing over with. Rock on. I've been really, really pleased with the artists because they're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to try something weird. I've got all the covers for number 8. Well, not Pablo's variant and not Alice's standard cover, but the variant covers are all in, and it's fun working with artists because I'm like, hey, this is what's in my brain, and then they take it and they make it look way better than what it looked like in my brain, right? And then the last one is Federico Sabatini. He worked with Brant and Lisa at Last Ember Press. He's been doing some Marvel work too, I think. I think this one's just cool. I really, of all of them, and I haven't done it yet, but I think this one would look really cool as a metallic cover.
Yes.
Honestly.
It has the colors, yeah.
Yeah. But
or foil, like
so,
even foil would be a little cheap. Actually, I don't know anymore. Like foil costs are, when I was still working at the old job, and I was and when I was like helping order books and stuff, and was a little bit more active on that part, like everybody, like foil had to be outsourced, and it was just like, wow. I don't know, like everybody charged a little bit extra for them, and so like foil was a lot more. It seemed like metal was easier to print than foil. I don't know why, but yeah, it would. This would look great either or. Yeah. This is another one, like kind of a pinup, but not as sexy. But this one has an allure to it as well. So like I really the covers your variants this go around were a little bit little like stylishly different than we kind of do every campaign. Y'all kind of like push the envelope a little bit. But yeah, I like the turn the turns and twists you guys took this time.
Well, and I have to apologize to one member of the team that I forgot to mention. There's this guy named Blake Morgan.
Oh yeah, I work there too.
Who does the thing that I suck at, which is promote this stuff and tell me, Will, you have to go post this now or do this, do that. And I'm like, thank you. I will go do that now, Blake. In fact, I owe you some things that I need to get done tonight, so I will get those done. Slave Master Blake.
Yeah. No, we all do, like, because we were talking about in the green room, the 48 right after the show, the 48-hour mark hits. Yep. So I was like, if I wait till the morning to post an update, then it's like 40 hours.
Yeah, like, exactly.
But so this is what I was talking about. Like this is what I noticed when I worked on shorter campaigns, was like when you shave that week off, it's this shit. It's like you are no longer able to be like, oh, I'll post the update tomorrow. Nope. Yeah. You don't have the time, or anything that you would maybe do tomorrow. You just can't do that anymore. So like losing that week, and it's so hard to get comic press right now. Anyway, this is why you see more and more creators doing their own show. You're seeing more and more creator podcasts, artist live streams, draw streams, stuff, which is awesome. But that's why, because it's getting harder and harder and harder to get indie press. Kickstarter is getting more popular, so even people that have and regularly cover Kickstarter campaigns, like right now, like I had 3 people on. We were gonna have 4 people on tonight, but I told Nandor the wrong date, so Nandor will be on next week. I apologize, Nandor. I'm a clusterfuck. But like I told him the 30th, and he was like, "We all set for tomorrow?" I was like, "No, tonight." And he was like, "Oh, I can't do it tonight." Anyway, I was like, "Oh, oops." Okay, so anyway, but it's harder and harder to get press, and that's another thing you really notice in the shorter campaigns is it's like if you don't have friends and line stuff up, like podcaster friends, like, or I guess friends in high places. I don't have those though. Like I don't have like an in at Screen Rant or something, right? But like, but anyways, it's just that week that you lose on behind the scenes content and promotion and marketing is a lot. So you really got to kind of pregame. You got to maybe do a little more in the pre-launch section, right? So it's crazy. Comics is funny like that, right? It's like everything moves real slow till it doesn't, and then it moves impossibly fast, and then you have to do everything perfectly. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? In their right mind, like wants this.
I think you answered your own question right there. Right mind.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Brant on your page. He did a really good job with the graphics.
Brant always does awesome on the pages. I mean, and for me, I think Richard is right. I think probably a 21-day campaign is what I should jump down to, but it will force me to do something that I'm not necessarily that good at, which is plan it all out and actually execute it correctly, right? Oh, I've got time. I can screw this up like 4 times before it matters, and I won't be able to do that anymore.
Yeah. Richard, what do you? Because you mentioned like you struggle because of all the books you put out and campaigns you run. You struggle on building your audience and like the newsletter stuff and marketing. Is there? Because I've noticed that too. Because sometimes you can't even share your posts on Facebook. I'm like, you're like, I got a new campaign going. I'm like, I'll share it, and I can't even like share it. And so it's like,
well, that's just me being bad at computers. No, it's a lot of things get in the way, but it really just comes down to I'm moving at such a pace all of the time, and like, this year I'm doing 35 conventions, and I have 19 books coming out. Like, how do you promote a book? How do you get people excited about a book if the gap between this book and your next book is only 4 days?
Do all those conventions help though? Like with the audience building and audience retention, and because in a way that's your public appearances are in a sense the marketing that you don't do on social media. But so is that?
Yeah, but
is there some?
Okay, it's a chicken and egg thing, right? So like, I have a book called Ghost Ghost, which back in the New Zealand days was my highest selling title. I think it sold about 40,000 copies over the years, and partly because it's a fucking $2 book. Okay, it's a little 8-page mini thing, but it was crazy popular. There ended up being 10 issues of it, and when I moved to the US, I said like I should do something with Ghost Ghost. And then I thought, okay, but I should probably have like some Ghost Ghost merch lined up. Like I should make a threadless store, whatever, Etsy, whatever thing, and put the pictures out there so they can be printed on things. And then I look at it and I say, but no one knows what Ghost Ghost is, so what's the point of making that thing? And then I look at Ghost Ghost and I say, what's the point of making Ghost Ghost popular when there's no merch available, so I can't really make much money off of it? And the two things just kind of spiral. And at the same time, I'm like, and I also have to make another memoir because I think the world desperately needs a 4th.
Yeah. And I feel like you do so many campaigns and you make so many books that you've built your name into sort of a name brand. Like you just keep putting out these books and doing campaigns, and people just kind of roll into the next one. And
yeah, I hope so. But I would like to look at a campaign. Like look at the breakdown of a campaign and see more than like 6 new people on each one.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a mailing list? Are you taking email addresses as you add are all these appearances?
I always have a QR code on the table. People can sign up for pre-launch pages, but people are very hesitant to do that. And because there are so many books on the table, they want to talk about the things that are there. And there's a very strange line between convention attendees and crowdfunding, where people are there because they've paid money to get in and they want instant satisfaction. They do not want to buy something for later. I have a thing at conventions now. Back in April, Trevor and I did a store signing, and the guy who owned the store wanted to buy some books from me, and Trevor went back with him to the back room to get the money and saw the guy had a bunch of $1 bills. And he says, oh, Richard always needs those for cons. You should pay him in ones. And this guy, thinking he was being helpful, gave me like $290 in $1 bills. So I was like, well, Trevor, you've forgotten that you and I share hotels all year, so I always owe you a lot of money at the end of the year. I'm going to get you back with this. And he was like, I don't care. It's just money. Then I had this idea. What if I put up a donation box at cons that had a big picture of Trevor on it that said, make Trevor's life worse for $1, and then an explanation of it. I will not pay a cent of my own money to stay in hotels at 35 conventions this year because of this donation box. And it's because people are so excited to take part in spite. And yet, if I say to them, would you like to sign up for this by scanning a QR code? They're like, oh, yeah, I'll take a picture of it and tap the link later. It's very bizarre. And then because I'm just not particularly great at social media, and I don't really, like this Dicks by Richard thing is the most consistent I've been on here in a very long time. There isn't really a place for people to find me if they look. Like people are like, you have an Instagram? I'm like, yeah, but like, it's a horrible place to be, and I don't want to post videos. So no, like, if you want to see a thing I drew probably a year ago at this point, go to Instagram. If you want to see the dicks I'm drawing now, I'm on Blue Sky, and then they say, "What's Blue Sky?" It's just, it all just goes in circles.
Can't hear you.
You can't hear you, Blake.
Yeah, as long as they say it's not the app where like the liberals go like that. It's always like a red flag when people talk about Blue Sky. It's like they talk like they like snuck in there. They're like, I was at Blue Sky where the liberals go, and they were sharing these memes, and now I found this guy who's drawing dicks with costumes on them.
Dicks everywhere on Blue Sky.
I mean, like you can follow some great accounts if that's what you're after. I can make some recommendations. What's really interesting is like at shows, I now get more dick pics from women than I've ever received from men, because women will walk over to my table, take my business card, and then 10 minutes later they'll send me a picture and be like, "This is my husband's dick. Can you make it look good?"
I was gonna ask if people like gave you like real dicks to draw, and you did like what are they like characters, like the people at amusement parks when they like make them look funny, caricature artists. I don't try to make them funny. Artist, is that a word?
Yeah,
could it be?
We'll workshop that sometime. My polite way of saying that's terrible.
It's bad. I know it's bad.
But see, so the other day I was posting some dick drawings that I was doing on the airplane over here, and I opened Blue Sky, and like someone has replied and just posted two photos of their dick as a reply, and just said, "Do mine next." And I'm like, that really changes the energy, because like now anyone who looks at the post is now actually seeing a photograph of the dick they didn't ask to see, and that's the exact opposite of what I want this to be about.
Yeah.
And like the nice thing on Blue Sky is you can
Blue Sky. Like there's the sexy Blue Sky like really shook me. Not like I'm a prude, but it just like it was like, whoa, like I didn't expect like so many people, like regular people, right? It just like posting not safe for work content just freely on Blue Sky. I was like, holy shit. It's kind of like some people kind of do that on Threads right now, but like, dude, sexy Blue Sky is gnarly. I just like, oh man, I would like if younger Blake would have had today's internet, dude. I don't even know what would have happened. I'd probably be dead. This show wouldn't even happen.
Like, you and I are the same age. Are you telling me you didn't know that Blogger and Blogspot were just repositories for links to videos that were not available anywhere else?
No, yeah, I didn't know.
Wow, you were really missing out.
Stealing MP3s on Napster was like my hardcore shit.
You guys are young. Get off my lawn.
Yeah. Kirk, I know Kirk, you've been so patient. I'm so sorry.
I'm just glad you didn't make me follow Richard and his dick. I don't know how Will did it.
I want to be clear. My piece in Kurt's book has no dicks in it whatsoever. It's a very touching.
No dicks in it. That's a shame.
Yeah, so. It's a sad love horror story.
Bummer. We're missing out on more dicks from Richard. Well, Kurt, but pitch me this and I'm very interested because this anthologies are a lot of work. I want to know what's the premise is real cool. Hit us with it and why you felt the need to put yourself through this, because this is one of the more rigorous ordeals you can do.
This is only my third campaign. So it's like I think to myself, never again am I going to do this. I'm never going to put myself through this again, and I always end up doing it. Of course.
Look at that ratio: 3 created, 578 back. Good for you.
Yep. Storage Horrors is about the things that go bump in abandoned storage units. Think Storage Wars crossed with creep show, and that's kind of the general vibe. The whole idea was thought up by Eric Palicki. So next time you see him, blame him.
I love
I told
Eric.
him what's that?
I love Eric. He's good.
Yeah,
people.
he's so good. I told him I wanted to do an anthology of some kind, but I didn't have any ideas for it. And he said, well, I had an idea once about a Storage Wars thing where there's something weird in every storage unit. It's not always the main focus of the story, but in some cases it's kind of tangential to it, but it's usually there. We've got an amazing lineup of creators in it. I think there's 19 stories and about 37 writers and artists in there, so
wow,
got a big variety of work in there.
That's a lot of sheep to wrangle.
No kidding.
Cats to herd.
So were you running the show, right? This was you were putting everything together. What was this, your first anthology you've worked on?
No, this is my second one actually. In 2017, I think, right after David Bowie died, I did like an anthology of David Bowie stories, like influenced by his songs. So I've done it before. I have some experience with it, but like I said, it's been a while since I worked on that one.
How'd you feel about? I mean, obviously you're funded. Kickstarter's been moving slow for a lot of people. We kind of mentioned the strikes. Some people have been wondering if that's the cause, but the people that are on strike, as Richard mentioned, have been saying over and over again, please keep using the platform. We want you to keep using the platform. That's not what the strike is about, right? So, anyways, we're in weird economic times and shit right now, but anthologies are always hard because little assholes like to come on Kickstarter and play stupid games with people's money, right? I mean, it happens over and over and over again, and unfortunately, like every time, like it builds like a hesitancy, right? Because it's like, oh, here's another. This isn't like a $20,000 funding goal, right? So but are you worried about that?
Like I think you mean $26,000 funding goal, or are we not? We're trying not to be too specific.
All right.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about that because I had a couple people early in the campaign that dropped their donations pretty early, and I was like, what's going on there? I hope I don't get up to the end and get like slightly over my goal, and then somebody drops a pledge right before the thing ends. So yeah, I was kind of worried about that. Has that become really common? I mean, I hadn't heard a lot about that.
No, Kurt, it's that there's been a couple of anthologies that haven't filled. One really big one that has caused a lot of ripples in the comic community, partly because no creators have received their comp copies. Most people have gone
I remember hearing about that one. Yeah.
And before that, there was that Wild West anthology. So there's been a couple.
That one.
Yeah, there's been a couple. So and it sucks, right? Because like Travis Gibb is somebody who like does all the Cthulhu anthologies, and they run a real tight ship, right? And it's just so. And anyways, sometimes the community is hesitant to like embrace the new comic shop anthology that the Cat and Phil were helping with. It did not fund some people. It was a very high goal. There was it made like 20 grand in a day.
It got a small handful of new backers and jumped 15 grand.
Whoa! Wow. Yeah, because I
guess a handful of people were really into it.
Cool. Oh wow. Well, I totally assumed because I was watching it because a couple of the campaigns I was working on we put it in our updates. Like cool campaigns to check out. But so anyway, I saw that and I was like, man, that sucks. Like I was like, there's no way they're gonna get that in a day. That's crazy. That's Kickstarter miracles. They happen. Yeah. That's rad.
But I think I don't know any details on this at all. So this is speculation. But I think that when people see that kind of jump, they assume that there is some funny business going on.
Oh, like behind the scenes.
Money. And especially because because of the campaign that did everything so terribly wrong last year, absolutely did that with I think a $10,000 backer showing up in the last hour or so.
Wow!
People are nervous, and understandably so.
Yeah,
no joke.
But it seems like I know you've got a lot of good people on this that have good experience with Kickstarter. Yeah. You've supported the platform for a while. So I mean, I'm glad things like this are happening because I love anthologies and I love they're a way to get voices like new and seasoned out in front of new eyes, right?
Yeah.
So they're very cool, and it sucks when people ruin the party. So I didn't know if that's something you thought about like going into this, because
Yeah, it was definitely a worry.
Yeah.
Especially after I had those dropped pledges, and I started thinking that in the back of my head. I hope I don't get there, and then oh well, you didn't quite make it. But yeah, I mean, it's a great. I've always loved anthologies too because it's a great way of getting sort of veteran creators together with creators that maybe a lot of people don't know about, and getting together in the book and having people, having a veteran story and then like a relative newcomer in there, sort of flowing together, and people going from one story to the next and discovering a new creator maybe. So yeah, I really love that idea.
How many pages is this? There's so many.
It is 150 pages.
This is a big this is a big boy. Okay, so I have a question. How do you run an anthology this size with such a low funding goal? How does that happen? How do you not put a $20,000 price tag on this or whatever?
Oh yeah. I have a pretty good connection to a printer, a Chinese printer that's going to do it for a pretty low price. So I mean, that's the only way I can do it that low.
Okay. Wow, man, that's cool. Hell yeah. Because I initially I thought it was going to be it was like a 48 page, like a like a oversized one shot anthology, and then we're scrolling through here, and I'm like, unless all these people have a half page, there's no way. This is way bigger. That's cool. Hell yeah, man, party on. That's amazing. So
is it going to be perfect bound or square bound like a trade paperback? Okay, awesome.
It's something you can put on your shelf.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, dude.
But yeah,
I love this cover.
We got one from Frederick Horning, who's a German artist who's I'm good friends with. I kind of gave him the idea for that. This goes back to the question earlier about whether you direct a cover or whether you, just kind of give them the freedom to do whatever they want. With Frederick, I just sent him a sketch. I was like, you can use this if you want. If not, you can do your own ideas. And he was like, oh, hell yeah, I love that idea. This is a great idea. All those monsters in the storage unit speaking out. And then I got also Dan McDade, who does a lot of work for DC.
This one's so gross.
I love that cover. When he sent me that, he sent me like 4 different ideas, and he's like, well, I kind of like this one and this one. And I said, no, it's got to be the one with the huge veiny tongue sticking out of the storage unit.
If you stop here, it almost looks like one of Richard's drawings.
Yeah, I can do a remark and make that
huge veiny thing sticking out of there. I was like, hey, that's a Richard idea. Yeah.
No,
so it's not too late. It's not too late for another variant. Let's add another variant. I'll draw it.
You got 60 hours.
It's 3 a.m. here. I'll draw it as soon as I'm off the
call. Yes, you just plug that in and then plug in all your late pledges, Kurt. This is how Kickstarters run. Last minute marketing. You would be surprised how many Kickstarters though, like middle of the campaign is like, should we do something weird? Because sometimes you can do a little something weird. Like Will and I found out some of the stuff we did this week, like reaching out to previous backers and stuff. Like, I'll definitely be doing that earlier. Because in my mind, that was something you do like more towards the end of the campaign. And what we realized sending stuff out this week is that even with the social media stuff I was helping Will with, even with his mailing list and his newsletter that he's so good at doing weekly, people still didn't know he was running a fucking campaign.
Yeah.
I gotta say, here I can give a little bit of advice on this. Backer kit. Like Backer Kit launch emails, they are getting picked up as spam more and more because they're all identical, and people need to get a lot better at changing all of the wording, not just the bit where it says recommended mention this. Just change everything except where it puts in your project title and the link to the button or whatever. You got to make that email your own. It'll get through to a lot more people.
Nice.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. No. Well, and that's a great thing. Blake has been rewriting those for me because I suck at copy. I just suck at it, and he does not. He's an awesome
That's one thing I've learned over the last that getting a job in comics, I always thought I always wanted to be a writer, right? I dropped out of an MFA, I have a BA in creative writing and shit, but these things that I always thought that I would do, right? It's like I do so much copywriting now, and like social media stuff and Kickstarter page copy. It's just like, I never thought, but it's like I'm at the end of the day, like I'm getting paid to write, so it's like I know a lot of writers that are not, and I do a lot of other shit too, but yeah, it never occurred to me how many people it's just not suffer through it maybe, or just struggle with it. It's just, it doesn't come naturally. It feels awkward. You second guess it. You spend too much time thinking about it, and when you're running a campaign, Will travels a lot for his job, so just all these things just start adding up, and you kind of get swallowed up by it all. But yeah,
I think it's really hard to talk about yourself when you're writing copy, though. I think that's a huge part of it. Like this Dick campaign, because Laguna Studios are officially running the campaign, I built the whole campaign page, and I've never found it easier, because I was like, now this isn't me doing it. And I'd be like, we here at Laguna Studios are so excited to team up with Richard for his wild and crazy dicks. And I'm like, shit that I would be far too self-conscious to ever say myself, and little jokes and puns in there that I would never do. And it just flowed out of me, because I was like, this is about some guy named Richard who draws dicks, I guess. I don't know him personally.
I don't want to talk Blake out of
I don't want to talk Blake out of any work, but everyone needs to just detach a little.
Yeah, or hire me.
Richard's there
stay attached.
Hire Blake.
Hire Blake.
Blake, I'm trying. I don't want you getting overworked.
No, I can't take any more work right now. Anyway, I'm so glad Crossover and Ruination are ending this week. Oh my god,
me too. Man.
I'm glad, but I'm also today I sent 5. And everyone was different. Every word, every subject. I used the same image for the header and footer, but I sent before this, I was sending old campaigns messages, just all, and even writing it real quick, having it all ready, just plugging it in, copy and pasting, putting the images in, double checking it, sending, doing that 5 times. That took an hour. I was like, shit, and I had shit ready to go. So everything just takes time. So yeah, when you can, having a team helps, but sometimes you don't. Kurt, what's some of the stuff you did to, social media is weird right now. You're on social, you're pretty good about posting on social media, posting your art on social media. And what was some of the stuff you did differently to help get eyes on the campaign? And does it help when you have such a robust team, or can you not really rely on that? Because ideally everybody every day is sharing the campaign that their Kickstarter is, right? But I can't even get Will to do that, and he pays me. So obviously
sorry.
Take over your shaking fist at the clouds.
But what'd you try to do differently to get eyes on the campaign?
Well, what I did differently, it wasn't really intentional. When I first started it, I was like, well, this is just me. It's just going to be me sharing this, and burning people's eyes out with all these different links and all that on social media. People are going to get sick of it. And, but I have a lot of good people that I work with, like Jay Hewer, Ben Ferrari at Pilot Studios, and a lot of other people who are sharing it out to various places, like a lot of Facebook art groups. They're sharing it out there. They're sharing it into various different social media platforms as well. They're sharing it on Blue Sky. They're sharing it on Threads. Excuse me. But that was the main thing. Everything else is just kind of the same thing. Doing updates, sharing on social media, going back and updating older campaigns, which of course I only have the 2 before this one. But that's been a huge help. I can't thank Ben and Jay enough for sharing those with me. I've known those guys for years and years, and so I should have expected, that they would be interested in helping me out sharing this and getting it over the finish line.
That's cool, man. Yeah, the Facebook groups are weird because sometimes they can work. I've heard the same thing about Reddit. Some people had a lot of work, got a lot of good stuff done, sharing stuff on Reddit. Anytime I've ever tried to share client work or projects I've been working on Reddit, I'll literally get a mod that comes back and be like, "Oh, you can only do that on Thursdays. We have to take this down." And I'm like, "What the fuck? It's an indie comics channel. You can only talk about indie comics on Thursdays?" Anyway, but you see, you know,
yeah, I mean, I've seen that
tricky.
a lot in a lot of those groups that are like, yeah, that's spam. You can't put all the, you know, those links. You can't just come in here and drop a link. That's spam. You know, spam. I'm going to delete that. So yeah, I mean, I think they see that as a problem almost. But I mean, that to me is the whole purpose of those groups. You're coming out there and you're sharing what you're working on, whether that's art or writing or an actual campaign for a book you produced. Then I think it's all fair game.
That's true. Yeah, I just I like that you were getting noticed because I feel like it's hard sometimes to get noticed in those groups. Like, you know, we do at work, we do some stuff with the direct market, and there's like a big FOC group on Facebook for like retailers and publishers and stuff, and so like, you know, every Monday, like it's just like it's exploding, and then, you know, the week before Monday or that Friday, it's just like, you know, everybody's like, oh, FOC, you know, and it's just like when everybody's clogging up the channels with that, it's hard. You know, you got to kind of, you have to like you think of like marketing again, and like almost treat it like this one post, like a little Kickstarter page, like a little store, you know, how can I be different than everybody else? You know, some of you are lucky because like your art is like a dick in a mummy suit, right? Or you know, or you have like great tentacles all over the place, or, you know, really great monsters. But I mean, even then, sometimes it's just hard to stand out. It's getting harder and harder to stand out on social media, and that's why, you know, and I'm sure everybody gets tired of hearing us talk about it, but we always go back to the mailing list because the mailing list is very, very powerful right now. Curating it, growing it, and keeping it active is a lot of work. Like, I mean, it's a lot of production, you know, and all power to people who do that. Kurt, do you have a mailing list or anything, or you just?
No, I don't. So anybody who wants to help me out with that, send me your mailing list.
I think that BackerKit is your most powerful mailing list, and you can actually add people if they've never backed a Kickstarter campaign of yours. You can get people to sign up directly to your BackerKit. I can't remember exactly how, but it is possible. And that way you're getting them there for that. But if you want to start sending newsletters, it is. But like you're right, it takes so long. I was with someone recently, and he does a newsletter that he really puts effort and work into. And we were sitting across from each other, and he wrote a newsletter, and I wrote an entire issue of a comic. And you got to weigh that up.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I used to have a publisher pay me, or a small indie publisher pay me to write their newsletter once a month, and it was very I help with Megan does most of the stuff for Prana newsletter. I do like the little baby help for our Prana the Bullet newsletter. We do that every Friday. But yeah, even the one we do every Friday is just like some good headlines for the week, the new Prana shows, new interviews, client updates, and even then it's just like we got three people's hands on it, and that's and it's still like a fucking ordeal, you know. It's like so it's a lot of work. Not everybody has help, not everybody has a team. I was shocked the first time. This isn't the first time I've worked with Will, but the first time Will hired me, you know, I mean, like when you get into that like crossover email thread, dude, like Will has a whole production squad. Like it's crazy, and it's very impressive, and I think that's why the comic is so good. But I mean, it's intriguing because some people can like Richard, you do so much solo. And I know Laguna helps with some stuff, but this
is my first time with them. The first thing I've done with them.
Oh, really? I thought you and Lori had worked together before.
No, we talked about a thing last year that just neither of us had the time for it. But no, this is the first thing.
Oh, nice. Well, I hope it goes well. I love not just because she pays me money, but I love working for her.
Yeah, no, I think Lori's great. There's been nothing bad about this experience.
Dude, she sent me something today, and I was like, hey, I can't do that right now, but I'll do it. And she was like, oh, Blake, just because I send you an idea doesn't mean you have to do it like right now. And I was like, oh, okay.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it because I can send her an email. Literally, our email thread is called a little in brackets dick tease, and it was just me being like, hey, could I do a book of this real quick? And within a day, we had settled on, yeah, of course, and here's how we run it. You know, she's a breeze to work with.
Yeah, she's awesome. Kurt, how did you, speaking of awesome people to work with, I know I've kept you guys for over an hour, and I want to wrap it up quickly, but you mentioned like some of this was Eric's idea.
Mm-hmm.
I know we have a lot of mutuals, and a lot of them are in this new book of yours. But like, what was your submission and curation process like for this? Like, how'd you get the stories? Did you put out a call? Did you reach out to people like or a mixture of both? I'm always curious how the mess comes together, right? I don't mean to be offensive, but it is a fucking mess before you make it beautiful. It's a fucking clusterfuck before Kurt gets in there and like tells everybody what to do and puts the pages together. Like, you know, anthologies are nuts. So yeah, how did you find these people?
Well, when I did the Bowie anthology, I just put out a general call like on social media and had a lot of people interested in that. I mean, obviously, a lot of people wanted to tell Bowie-centric stories. But for this one, I just reached out to specific people that I knew through Facebook and other social media platforms, and had been in other books with them, like the Cthulhu Invades anthology, Holiday Spirits, and all that. I just reached out directly to them, to like Richard, to Dan Noakes, to Steph Cannon and Matt Knowles. They did a story in it. Heather Gibb, Travis Gibb, both did stories in it, their own individual stories. So it was just a matter of me going to people whose work I'd seen before and I really, really loved and wanted them to be involved if they could.
That's awesome. Yeah, because if you know enough people to reach out, but then even if you know enough people and they like you, right? Then you got, there's
not always a guarantee that they're going to be like, yeah, I'll be part of that. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Or they're like, I got 5 things I can't, right? Like if you hit me up next month, maybe, but not now. That's and when you put out the general call, like your some of your friends sign up, but you get a lot of horse shit. Too, right? You get a lot of.
That was one of the things that we talked about. I think Eric Palicki mentioned it on Comics for All when we were on there a couple of days ago. Said, you can put out a call to like 20 creators, and you might get back 20 pitches that are identical to each other. And to be fair, some of the stories in this sort of started out from the same premise, but the execution completely made them individual, made them different from each other. So that was a nice thing to see.
Cool.
Like Richard's story is all, it's a profoundly like heartbreaking story on relationships, and the horror in it is all emotional, psychological, not really a lot of physical, like visceral type horror. It's just a punch to the heart,
Wow.
I mean,
he will make you cry.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's a weird one because it actually kind of has more body horror in it than I really have ever done anywhere else.
Yep.
I really like that story.
Reaching in and pulling out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
It's a great
Thanks, man. And like, you reached out to me, and I think my response was like, I'm probably too busy, but if I have an idea, I'll let you know. And then of course, like being asked the question makes me have the idea. Yeah. And then I come back and I say, like, it will be this thing. I will deliver you a finished thing. And then I go into a panic being like, I bet Kurt needs this by yesterday. Oh no, I'm letting everyone down. And then,
Well, I'm a total slack ass. So I didn't, whenever I could get them in, I started working on the finished book as soon as I got the last stuff in. And there's still some stuff to be colored and lettered, but for the most part, it's finished.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, when I put the call out there, I just gave him the idea behind the book, something horrible in a storage unit. And all these people came back with so many different diverse ideas, such a variety of stories in there.
Nice. It sounds cool. The art teams look amazing. The talent on it's crazy. Both writers and illustrators alike. I'm excited for it. I'm glad you guys funded And he's still he's about a little under 70 hours. Y'all can still go. I don't know if you remembered, I politely at the beginning, because I always forget to say it. Now I say it at the beginning. I'm reminding you, because I'm such a great host, that all the links for these books we talked about tonight are in the show description. So you just go scroll the titles right there. Hopefully you can read. I really hope you can read. If you're not reading, why are you buying books? That's a question.
They're just here for the dick pics.
They're here.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you can't read,
you can't read, Richard's book is for you.
Yep. And that's across the board, all of my books.
That is not you're
also,
you're so good at dialogue.
Can we say the important thing? I don't want to have wasted money on this domain name. Please go to dickstarter.net to get to my project. I really don't want that. Look, I spent a lot of money on horsegoogle.org last year, and I never used it for anything.
.net, you said?
Yeah, dickstarter.net.
Got it. Check that one out. Don't use the link I provided. Use this one. This is the.
You can remember.
Use the glamour link, please.
All my other stuff is on kickricchard.com, which has been great for me. But now I can keep my dick ones on a separate thing, so I can run them at the same time.
Nice.
And then I can do more books.
Yeah, and then you can keep your dick metrics separate.
Yeah.
Like you need somebody. You got to keep the dick metrics to themselves sometimes. Yeah.
A question for you, Richard. How many pages have you done? How many books do you have in your library? I mean, are you ever going to sleep again?
Well, it's now, what time is it now? It's now 3:23 a.m. I'm probably going to skip sleep tonight because I took a Ritalin to do the show and I'm just kind of wired now. I have a store signing tomorrow. I should look today now. Shit. No, I'll be fine. So I had this goal for a long time that I wanted to have 300 published books by the time I turned 40. And I forgot to count an entire series. And so right before my 40th birthday, I realized that I'd hit 313. And so what have I done since April? I've done I'll Melt With You, Campfire, Still Not Dead, Get My Head Straight, Wrong Place, Where You Die, Feeding the Dark, Buoyancy, and 2 dick books. So I'm at 323, I think, but then also like there's a few other anthologies that come out with pieces by me in them, and then I wrote a 2-part thing for Cheeky Comics called Kylie in Public. And I think one of the two have come out. The first issue and the short and the Cheeky annual are out for that. So we're approaching the 330 mark at this point, I think.
What do you do with your art? Because you don't do digital. So like, what do you do with all these giant pages?
Digital's for chumps. I just every now and again I'll look through it and be like, I hate all this stuff, and then just throw it out.
You're like fucking Ryan Otley. You just throw that shit away. You know who else did? Joe Jusko does that. He throws away his preliminary shit. You know what? We fucking sold him the things he throws in the trash. We sold for $1,000 a piece.
Yeah.
They came with a $300 book, but we fucking sold $7,000 worth of art in like 8.5 minutes. That shit was gone. And then and we were talking about it, and Joe was like, yeah, my wife's always yelling at me for throwing this stuff away. Like, are you kidding me? What the hell's wrong with you, Richard?
Because like you got to think about it like this, right? A page of art or a folder of art takes up a huge amount of real estate on a con table. That's essentially, if you're going to have it open, that's about 8 titles worth of space. And if someone's standing there looking through it, it's a really long time for them to maybe spend a couple of $100, as opposed to the 8 titles you could have there in big stacks and all of the very quick $25 sales you can make that just make it. It's ridiculous to be selling art at a show if you have books, unless you are someone who is like,
or give the art.
I could, but like. Do you think I know how a computer works? I just told you that digital art is for suckers.
it's crazy because there's we talked about this on the Prana pod, the Comic Industry Insiders, about how Ryan Otley like hated all his old art, and I couldn't find the video. I found the pictures of him like throwing old Invincible covers and Invincible pages like into a fire pit in his backyard, and he's laughing.
Very funny.
He's laughing about it, right? And it's like, fuck, dude. Like,
I do a lot of like
probably hundreds of thousands of dollars that he could have made, right?
Yeah, but like it's about how much time you have, right? Like I do a lot of stuff with like my little 100-page horror books that I do. It's like it's $15 for the book, or $50 you get the book and a page of the original art, and it's like selected at random because I'm not going to keep track of 50 different tiers.
That's cool though.
And like what's nice is I draw the art at the same size as the book, so it doesn't increase the shipping cost or anything. So like things like that, I'm able to get rid of little bits, but like for the most part, it's just boxes and boxes and boxes stacked in my office and my house. Mm-hmm. And then every now and again, I look through and go, a lot of this is shit. And it doesn't or a lot of this, this is a bad take for me to have at 3:30 in the morning. And it's something that I'll probably get in trouble for, but I'm just going to say it because fuck, why not? This is what, let's go classic Blake's Buzz. Let's have Richard say some wild shit. Like, a page of comic art is not the finished artwork. The book is the finished artwork. Mm-hmm. I really don't like the idea of selling a 25th of an artwork to someone. Like, yes, there are a lot of pages that really do work as a start to finish story on their own, and they do function outside of the context of the book, but most pages don't. And so like those are the pages I keep. And those other ones I'm like, this needs the context to work, and I don't think someone's going to want to pick up like pages 1 through 9 of this sequence.
That's not that big of a hot take. I mean,
people always, whenever I say it, people take it as if I'm saying that their particular comic art isn't art, and it's part of it's because I get whenever I see people who are like, man, I got a gallery show for my comic art. I'm like, why? Why is that the recognition you need? You're making comic books. Put them in the place where comic books are meant to be. Like, have that as the ultimate goal. Basically. Yeah, it seems shitty to me.
Mm-hmm. That's I work. I'm not even name dropping. I work with Joe Pruitt now. And he's the other day I was talking. We're like all throwing around ideas about like marketing and how to like hype a book and I was like, well, like, how do we, like, if we try and make this cool? And he goes, no. He was like, it's a comic book. It's already cool. We don't have to make it cool. It doesn't have to be anything different to be cool. It's fucking cool, And I was like, you forget that sometimes. And I really feel that, Richard. Like, it's a comic book. It's cool. It's fucking art. It's its own thing. It doesn't have to be in a museum. It doesn't have to be in a fucking gallery. People don't have to be sipping wine while it hangs on a wall for it to be cool. It already is a cool thing. Kurt, we haven't heard from you in a second. Do you throw your art away? Is this a normal thing for artists? Are you just like, fuck this, and you wad it up and you throw it away?
Well, I'm going to incur Richard's wrath here, but I'm a digital artist. I work digitally only now. I haven't drawn on paper for years.
You fool!
Yeah. It's going to be like,
I'm not in your anthology anymore. No, look, I hate doing digital art. Like, I can make myself do coloring sometimes. Coloring is the worst part of art for me because it's like you get to this point where your art looks in a way that you're really happy with and it feels finished on the page, and then you take a step backwards, zoom in on it, and make it look worse than it could ever possibly look for a really long time until it comes back together with some rendering.
Yeah.
And like drawing digitally, I just don't enjoy the feel. I want to be on paper. I want to be cutting things out. I like that every single one of my books. If you look through my books, you'll always find that I have accidentally scanned at least 5 eyelashes or hairs, and they're just on the page. And like sometimes I catch them, or sometimes you're like, hey, there's like one line with like a little bit more brown than the other cross hatching there. I wonder, like that's real, that's texture.
I like the fact for me, you know, with digital, I like the fact that it's kind of all in one place in the program. You can do draw, you can do the inking, the coloring, the lettering, everything, just in one place, and you don't have to go through a lot of scanning and that kind of things, which is fine. You know, I love pencil on paper, but digital is just like faster. It feels faster for me, that I can get to where I want to go faster rather than drawing it on a piece of paper, scanning it, you know, and all that kind of thing.
But what you could do instead is take the Richard approach, and you draw it on the piece of paper and you hand letter it as you go, and then just color it with some markers, and then because your scanner is broken, you photograph it, and then you realize that looks sick as hell. And then you put out the X-Files of Frankenstein, and everyone's like, Richard, this is the best thing you've ever done. And you're like, yeah, and no computers were involved.
Yeah, when you said you throw away artwork, I was like, how does he throw away artwork and still produce so much? You know,
what I did keep for a long time were all the covers for X-Files of Frankenstein, and they were enormous because they were huge sculptural pieces, and they just like took up an entire room, like a little side room off my office. And I finally threw them out a couple of weeks ago, and I felt really good.
Yeesh.
I can't believe you did that.
What was I going to use them for, Blake? What was I?
I don't know. I mean, I guess
well, so
it's because of my mind. Like, I just can't, like, you know, like I feel like we have to buy and have and hold things. Like, that's the only thing we're good for as humans, right? So, getting rid of things that you worked hard for, right? Is just like,
yeah,
like, no, you find another drawer, you just push them in a drawer or put them in a
yeah, but again, you think it's, look, I'm not saying that I don't work hard. I work really hard, but also the entire 4-issue run of X-Files of Frankenstein was written and drawn in 16 days.
That's crazy. Wow. See, so you can't do digital, because if you were faster, you'd turn into like
no. I have drawn one page of digital comic in my life, and it took so long. And I really tried to trick myself. I was like, I'm going to do this all right. I bought a fucking iPad. I bought the Apple Pencil. I like got the right kind of screen texture cover bullshit whatever thing. I got the iPad engraved with the Richard Sucks logo, so that I would really force myself and be like, I have to commit to that. And I was like, I fucking hate this so much. This is the worst thing. This is the worst experience of my life.
Fair, when I first started doing digital art, I was like, I hate this so much. You know, I hate that it's not paper. You know, that you can't go in and erase and still have that kind of texture in there a little bit. And I remember when I first got the drawing pad that I use, I was like, I'm never going to use this. You know, I just got it out of convenience, basically. And I was like, I'm never going to use this. I might use it to sign documents or something at some point. And then it got to the point where I was like, well, maybe I'll scan in my pencils and I'll ink it on, you know, digitally. And then it just kind of progressed from there. And I took every additional step from there on out and tried to get good at it.
Yeah. I mean, like,
the biggest problem for me was trying to replicate how I draw on paper onto.
I do a lot of digital coloring. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I don't. You know, I think I've probably colored somewhere around 8,000 pages of comics digitally at this point.
Wow.
And it's just, you know, I can do the digital thing. It's just that it's like, when I know that I have to do it, it's the slowest I'll ever work.
Yeah. And kind of
maybe one day I'll figure out a way to trick myself.
That you throw away a lot of your pages. I mean, because you were talking about how much you love the paper, you know, actually the physical drawing on paper. So it kind of surprises me when you said, you know, I throw out a lot of my old pages. I don't keep them.
Yeah, but what am I going to do with them? Like, am I going to go look at them? Like,
yeah, I mean, at some point it becomes like a storage problem. You know, you just don't have space for all that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't have space for figures and books and stuff anymore. Yeah. I mean, I buy and read way more digital. I read novels on a Kindle. Yeah. And you know, I'll buy, like, I'm buying those new Gundam hardcovers that Kodansha's putting out because they're fucking sick. You know, like, you know, I don't buy as many books anymore. I do, you know, I'm back to subscribing to Marvel Unlimited and DC Ultra. I subscribe to Global Comics. And I use Hoopla.
We should all stop subscribing to Global Comics. They're like blatant supportive. They're blatant supportive AI. They're no, that's new. because now they're like blatantly supporting
I saw-
AI. They are trash. We all need to just
I left
collectively
them
talk about it.
when I was unemployed. I saw their first like AI Facebook ad, and I left a comment on it, and I was like, hey, if you guys would ever like not AI, I would sure love to make ads for you. Of course, no one ever replied. But yeah, Chris, what's up, Chris? Chris says same thing. It's hard to keep buying physical, running out of room. Yeah, it's the same. Also, check out Fueled by Weird. Chris has a really cool show on YouTube. He does this. He talks to creators about usually about indie comics and Kickstarters.
I mean, if you got the word weird on the title, Chris, have me on.
Chris, you should have Richard on. You guys would have fun. And yeah, it's the reason I'm so shocked at just being able to so nonchalantly throw stuff away is because I can't do that. I wish I could. I'm not a hoarder by any means, but like when I have stuff, I feel like I have to have it forever, you know? And it's just like, comics are a huge part of it. Like a lot of, I have so many single issues that I'm like, what? I don't need these. I don't want these. Like I wanted them at the time, but I don't want them now, really, you know?
But aren't you scared of like if you want to disappear in the night, if you want to throw your life away and change, right? And you've got all this stuff and you're trapped by it. Like I bought a TV. I bought a TV at the beginning of COVID, and I just looked at it and I was like, I fucking hate that I have this thing now that I would take with me if I left. And so I just put it in the garage and didn't use it. And eventually, like, found someone who I could give it to because everyone else had already bought a giant fucking TV at the beginning of COVID. They didn't need mine. But like, I don't like owning any. Like, I think there are maybe 5 things in my life that aren't people that I would want to take with me if I went somewhere. You know, I have that creepy horse made of Santa Clauses. I have a can of Crash Bandicoot energy drink that I'm just fascinated by, and I have a stuffed dinosaur. And that's really all I need.
Oh goodness. Well, yeah, I'm attached. My last real relationship was like 10 years ago with this woman Kat, and she was a waitress when I was a bouncer. I felt bad in love with her, but she would we were partying all the time because I was partying then, and like, you know, I had like all these figurines and and we'd fucking come plastered home, like stumble into my room, you know, and fucking like, and she would be like, I am not the person to have around all this fancy shit. She was like, I break stuff. And I was like, yeah, no. But what she said after that, and you know, we're both plastered, but I kind of remembered this a lot. And she was like, you like things, and that's cool. But she was like, I like experiences. She's like, I like going to, you know, music festivals and doing, you know, and I was like, and I realized, and I do, and I do like things, you know. I like buying shit. Like I've maybe got to play my Nintendo Switch 2 for 2 hours since I bought it. But it's fucking glad I got it.
Right?
What'd you say?
It's nice to be surrounded by things you love. I mean,
because I have dogs and things.
Yeah,
because I don't have people that love. No, I'm just kidding. But like, it's, you know, I have to buy the things that love me. No, I have to.
I am surrounded by pens that dry up on me and get tossed in the trash.
No, but there's a liberating notion to that. There was a woman who like got real popular a few years ago talking about like, don't keep books, like it was like throw away.
That was all about staying in one place and living with minimalism and getting rid of your personality. That shit sucks. I say, like, have whatever shit you want. Surround yourself with stuff. Like I'm gonna be honest, I have a lot of stuff. The point is, none of it is so precious to me that I couldn't abandon it without a moment's notice.
Like if a tornado came, you grab your cell phone and wallet and walk away.
Oh my god, my cell phone. I'm on a new phone now, but like 2 months ago, I picked my cell phone up and the screen fell off, and I was so happy. I was so fucking happy, and I got to live for like 8 weeks without a phone, and like, I'm not stupid. Like, I bought a new phone, and then it arrived, and I was like, I could just not open it. And I just lived without a phone until I had to leave the country, and I was like, I need a phone for travel. Mm-hmm. But like, man, knowing no one can reach you is so incredibly freeing.
It is. It isn't. But it's just. It's funny that your ideological mindset and the fact that you're an indie comics creator are so wildly juxtaposed. It cracks me up because it's just it's just like all we've talked about is it's a continuous cycle of self promotion and mental mental exhaustion, right? And you do a different kind of mental exhaustion, right? But anyways, it's just I always love your outlook, and I wish I had that ability. Like I don't know if I could ever really walk away from anything. It's like
doesn't that terrify you? Doesn't that make you feel trapped?
Probably I do now.
Oh shit! Sorry.
I did before.
Shit. Oops.
You just gave Blake a psychological moment there. Existential terror.
It wouldn't be me appearing on his show if I didn't do it once.
It's like, you guys see Blake have a borderline panic attack live? Well, we're not going to come back from that. And I've been trying so hard to do like a 1 hour live stream, just like it never happens, but that's cool. I had a lot of fun catching up with all you guys. You've all been on the show before, and it was real good catching up. I want to go around the room real quick. I want everybody to know where to find you on social media, or if you got those mailing lists, Substacks, whatever, shout them out. Kurt, let's start with you, bud. Where we keep track of you, where do we follow you?
I'm Kurt.Belcher on Facebook. I'm Belcher Kurt, all one word, on Instagram and Threads, and I'm Kurt Belcher, I think, on Blue Sky. So yeah, you can pretty much find me there anytime you want to find me.
Oh yeah, and Storage Horse has about I just had a look, 66. Oh, almost 66. You throw another 6 on there and just pretend. 66 hours left. I really encourage you to check that out. Again, links are in the description. All these guys' books, you can check them out real easy. There's something cool for everybody, whether it's a monster whether it's a monster coming from the ocean, a monster coming from a storage bin, or a monster coming from your trousers, baby. Woo! All right, Will, where we find you at, bud?
Wow.
You can find me on Facebook. I'm just Wallred, Wallred, and that's what I am on Blue Sky.
Awesome.
And you can check out Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com, which has got links to the Kickstarter as well as the newsletter and all that fun stuff.
Your newsletter is?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Midnight Hour. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very cool newsletter. We mentioned like the work it takes for the weekly newsletter every Monday. He's always got stuff he's reading, stuff he's working on, new campaigns to check out. It's a very cool newsletter. It's an easy read. It's easy to tackle. So you should check that out. Really encourage you to do so. And again, check out that link in the description for Crossover Division, because we are unlocking stretch goals. We're doing some cool book upgrades, adding some pinups and cover galleries. So get to Kickstarter. Run out of time. I need a job. Oh no, I already have a job. It's fine. All right, and last but definitely not least, a master of conversation, if I've ever met one. Richard, where we keep track of you, bud?
This campaign is at Kickstarter.net, and you should follow me on Blue Sky, Dicks by Richard, where I will post at least one dick a day for the foreseeable future, and many more little side dicks that I draw in my spare time.
I mean, all you got to sign up for one dick a day for free. Can't even get that on OnlyFans.
And I really don't. They're fucking beautiful dicks. I don't like. It's not often like I don't throw out the dick art. You can get a mystery dick. You can get. I think it's like $15 extra. You get the book and you get to adopt a mystery dick from my back catalog.
Adopt a mystery dick. I love that. I love that verbiage. That's great. Like you don't get one. You don't unlock one. You don't get a bonus cock. You adopt a cock.
You'll get a bonus boner.
Bonus boners, baby. Buzz boners.
Give you that for free, Richard.
Thank you.
Power of indie comics.
I want to be really clear. A lot of the dicks I draw are soft, so like I can't guarantee a boner.
I have noticed that you do it. Okay, before I know we're wrapping it up right now. But
Yeah, keep it wrapped up. If it is a boner, keep it wrapped up.
Is it
just sexual health?
Like censorship wise, or
No, I just meant a condom.
What? No, for
I was
like
just saying wrap it.
yeah, I know. Like, but
So Blake, sometimes if you're going to use your dick,
if you drew a bunch of erect penises, would it be harder to post those pictures online and get flagged?
oh no, not at all. I think that like dicks are beautiful in all their forms, and again, like so much of the way people draw dicks, and I should have said this really early on, but so much of the way that people draw or present dicks is either really silly or really aggressive, and I don't want to be in either of those spaces. You know, I my whole life I've spent, every time I see a dick drawn on a bathroom wall, I go in and I shade it and I make it beautiful and I make it a real piece, not like scary dick coming at you or silly little wiggle.
Yeah, you don't just draw a happy face on it. You know, you do real shit.
Hey, Blake. I know, like, once Cocktober's over, though, you know the little happy face dick showed up on Dick Bay Richard, right?
Wow, Blake.
If I get two pieces, I get a happy face and a hot dog. That's dope. I have made it. I have made it in comics.
You brought the whole podcast right back to the beginning with the face drawn on the dick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is everyone else picturing like the Nirvana smiley face, by the way, or is that just me?
Well, yeah, it wasn't perfect. It was, anyway, shout out Chloe. I hope there's no way you're listening to this or remember that. She's my first girlfriend. She was a Jehovah's Witness. It was really weird. I was like, why can you knock on the doors of strangers and talk about wild shit, but you can't talk about your feelings? I said that to a person in real life.
That is so that, you know, remember that moment of Boy Meets World when Topanga went have sex with Corey and he screams at her, "Why will you share my toothbrush, but you won't share your body?" That just had such similar energy. That moment just haunts my brain.
That's because Boy Meets World was real shit, man.
Remember the season when Mr. Feeney was imaginary?
There's been a lot of stuff I've been wanting to go. I think because I turned 40, like I almost bought the Calvin and Hobbes hardcovers. There's a new Peanuts slipcase out that I kind of want these like old news strip comics from when I was a kid, and then like kind of wanting to watch these old cartoons. I'm fucking reading old Gundam. I'm very much, and it's old shit older than me. Like Gundam's older than me, and I'm like, anyway, it's like I'm clinging to shit from like the late 80s and early 90s. That there's,
so you're just regressing.
Like that'll keep my beard. Like you can see it. Like I bought this good camera. You can see the fucking gray coming out of my beard. Anyway.
Hey, Blake, look at this shit. Look at this fucking beard. I went 8 years without a beard. Last time I saw my beard, it was black, and it grew back like this. Like I got old when I wasn't looking.
Mine is white. I just shaved mine off last week. I'm completely white. You guys
may not be able to
welcome to old
see it,
welcome to old age, man.
One little stripe right there in my mustache.
Yeah, you guys got that Reed Richards beard.
Why did I not notice that before?
Well, all right. Well, I guess I got that to look forward to. All you men you're all gorgeous men, by the way. You're gorgeous men. I'm sure you got glorious cocks that Richard would be proud to draw. I've never said that to guests on my show before, and that's how we're going to end tonight's episode. So love more, hate less, read comics, support some indie comics, check out some Kickstarters. We'll be back next week. I hope we don't get canceled by then. Love you, everybody.